Hello. No one's on here yet. I've just been fiddling around for 30 seconds by myself. Six Sons, Curve, Finesse, Square Bill. Dang. Who's on here? Who's watching me right now? Hello, who's here? I see you. Well, I don't see you, but I see you, but I don't see you. It's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I'm sure a lot of you are busy right now, as is. Who's on? Who is watching me? Who's watching me? All right, I'm going to turn it off. I'm out of here. I'm just kidding, Sean. I'm not out of here. I'm just playing. What's up, Sean? I'm going to start this conversation up once we get a few more people in here. Apparently, Six Sense just came out with a Curve, Finesse, Square Bill. Set for Turkey Day, dude, I am heading to Wichita tomorrow. Which Wichita is where I'm from, Wichita, Kansas. It's about 3-hour drive. Me and the wife and the two babies are heading there. The other kids are with their mom because she's got a bunch of her family coming to town in Missouri. So I just decided let's just make it easy on all of us and have the kids stay there with her, and then we'll figure out Christmas. We can always do Thanksgiving with the rest of the kids down the road. Born in Hayes? No crap. I've been through Hayes plenty of times. What's up, Stoney? Happy Thanksgiving, Big John. You guys know, like, plenty ahead of time. I went to get my oil changed, which I prefer to change my oil myself, but we decided that we were going to take my car tomorrow, and it was like 5,000 miles overdue. So I just ran across the street to get my oil changed. And, well, it took a lot longer than planned because my drain plug was stretched out, so they had to put a new one in there. So that's what I got going on. What's up, Hookset? Throw me a little lippy in here. Don't judge me, anybody. That's the one. What's up, White Whale? Killer filler. Safe space. And we got people hopping on, hopping off. Wow. Only one person's on now that I can see. Only one. Huh. I don't know what's going on. Instagram was messing up earlier. Looks like YouTube might be messing up now. Is everyone still on here? They kick people off? What's going on? Dun, dun, dun. Really detest the holidays, to be honest, but Stoney, why you detest the holidays, man? I'm curious. Is it because of work? Family? What's going on there? I got you, Big John. That makes sense. I'm going to kick this conversation off here pretty soon. Because I really want to talk about this whole YouTube balancing life, jobs, all that. GoPro talk. I am going to talk GoPro, Big John. I am going to do that. I actually had a comment just a little bit ago. Kansas Angler comment and wanted to know about where I was seeing the GoPro Hero 8 for $349 because he wasn't seeing it anywhere. And then he was talking about getting the Osmo Action instead for $279, and I do want to talk about that. So, all right, Stoney, no big deal, man. I guess what I want to talk about with I know there's not too many people on right now, so I'm just going to kick it off. But question I get a lot, and people ask me here at the store, you know, because I own and operate a business 6 days out of the week, and Sundays are my day off. When I first kicked this business off, this is a supplement shop. When I first kicked it off, I was doing 7 days a week, open to close, and really just kind of get it off the ground. And I did open to close 7 days a week for about 4 months straight. 4 months straight. So I was doing that, and then I decided to take the one day off. And then I picked up fishing, and I got consistent with the YouTube, and it's been going ever since. So what's up, Thomas? I'm going to try and stay on top of, you know, saying hi to everybody. I did a job about that last time. But question I get a lot on Instagram from, you know, some of the younger guys that are dealing with school, and they're like, you know, how do you still continue to do YouTube when, like, how do you find the time? And I guess the big thing is that you got to make the time. That's all it is. I mean, there's 24 hours in a day. And me, I mean, I sleep very little. I'm actually working a part-time gig overnights as well right now because unfortunately this business is failing. I don't share that with too many people, but it is failing, and I'm probably going to shut it down, so it is what it is, which means I'll just be working more than I normally do. What's up, Bay Boy? So, Bay Boy, he'll probably understand this too. Sleep when we're dead, that's for sure. The biggest thing with balancing YouTube and life is, like I said, you just got to make the time. You got to make the time. You got to get creative with content too. You know, I mean, I wanted this to be Kansas Angler. I was just talking about you, man. We're going to talk about the GoPro here in a little bit. Talking about time, making time, creating content. I think the biggest thing with, you know, YouTube is when you start out, you almost feel this obligation. More and more people want you to do videos. I've had multiple requests to do a gear breakdown video, and that was, you know, like 2-3 months back. And I didn't do it right away. And I'm sure some of those guys fell off because I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do right away. The fact of the matter is that your channel is your channel, and you're going to do what you want to do. You can't sit there and you can't pander to the masses all the time. You got to do what you want to do. If you're doing a YouTube channel and you're doing what everybody else wants you to do, eventually you're going to burn out because you're not doing it for the right reasons. So with the family and balancing life and balancing work, what I had to do was just tell my wife, like, hey, Wednesday mornings when she's off, she's got the kids, I'm going to go fishing on Wednesday mornings. That's what I did. And then I went fishing Saturday mornings, and I went fishing on Sundays. And the big thing with that is you still have to make time for your family. You got to be able to do that. So starting out a YouTube channel, it's all about quality over quantity, you know, is what people say. And I disagree. It's about quantity over quality. And you got to be able to go out there and make as many videos as you can. So when I started up, what I did is I fished as much as I possibly could. I stored a bunch of footage, and then I had stuff for when it got slow that I had backup videos to go along with it. So now when I fish and I upload a video, I mean, when I fish, the videos that you guys see are probably about a week behind from what I normally did, from when I actually did fish. So that initial thing, you got to make the time to do it. I mean, I keep saying that, making time, but that's what it is. Working in a supplement shop, I dealt with people and I heard it all the time, like, I don't have time to go to the gym. Yes, you do. You just don't make the time to go to the gym. And it's the same thing with fishing. People tell me I don't have time to fish. I don't have time to, make videos or upload stuff. I've got finals. I've got school. I've got job. I got all this stuff. You got the time. You just don't make it. So you got to make the time, and you got to do it for the right reasons. You can't hop on there. You can't make videos because people want to see a certain thing. I got a lot of plans. I've had a lot of guys ask me to do more bait versus bait challenges. And the simple fact is, I'm going to do them, but I'm going to do them when I'm ready to do them. You can't pander to every single person on YouTube. And I think that being genuine and doing what you want to do will make all the difference in the world. People can pick up on genuinity, if that's the right term, genuinity, in your videos. Let's try and catch up here. There's always an excuse, just got to find it and make it happen. That's right. Why, Will, what's your business, man? I'm curious about that. Bay Boy, facts. It's hard to balance with work and family. It really is. But it's all about just making the time. You got to set those boundaries. Like, if you decide to embark on this YouTube journey or Instagram journey or whatever it may be, and you have a significant other, you have to set those boundaries from the start. I was married 10 years before, I met my wife now. And a lot of things changed, as soon as my ex-wife and I got married. And I just kind of let all that stuff, rule me. So me and Taylor, my wife now, she knows this is what I do. And she didn't understand it at first. She wasn't happy with it at first. But I set those boundaries and I said, I'm going to do this when I do this, and I'm going to do this these days. Now, I took last Sunday off from fishing completely, mainly because I was exhausted. I needed to catch up on sleep, but I needed that family time. So then you run into the stress of, oh, crap, I'm not uploading any videos. I'm going to lose, viewers. I'm going to lose subscribers. That doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to me because I'm doing this for me. So don't be doing it to try and, get the fame, get the subscribers, anything like that. You got to do this because you want to do it. Was wondering about your video buffer. I'm trying to keep things a week out. Just post like Sweetie's video today. Yeah. I still do that. So when I go out and fish, I want to say, what was the last video that I did? Oh, the beating the banks at Bixoma. Wasn't a great video. Mondays are not a good upload day. Just in case y'all are wondering, Mondays are not a good upload day for me. But that was exactly a week ago. I uploaded that video on Monday, and I fished that day on Wednesday. And went out Saturday morning, got absolutely skunked, and I'm probably going to put that video up. But I do like to stack. I like to stack footage and have it setting aside to where I can stay consistent with, 2 to 3 videos a week. YouTube has been the best thing for me since moving to Oklahoma. I met more people on here than any social media. That's a fact, man. That's Bay Boy and I, we met at Bass Pro, fishing the Bass Pro pond 5 months ago, something like that. I was just starting out. He was just starting out. And it's been, YouTube has been phenomenal. I've met all you guys this way too, and I love it. Let's see here. Thomas said, sometimes I bring life with my film sessions, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yep, that does. Creating content on a fishing channel, sometimes you think that, you can only have fishing videos on there. I didn't, I talked about the camera, and That's because I am a camera buff. Like I'm a camera nerd. Like I do photography, I do videography, and I'm self-taught on the majority of the things that I know. But I spent 2 years researching and learning anything and everything that I possibly could on YouTube. So my editing, my video editing, photo editing, everything. I spent 2 years doing that. So where was I going with that? I don't remember where I was going with that. Appreciate that, Sean. I want to go full-time fishing, but I'm so busy this time of the year. Picked up 2 jobs today. Good for you, Big John. I think anybody with a fishing channel, that's the dream, is to go full-time fishing, whether it be on YouTube or, fishing the tournament scene, to make a living that way. That is the dream. Let's not kid ourselves. That is most likely why we're doing this, because we love fishing, love creating content, and we want to get paid for it. We all want to get paid to do what we love, but a lot of the time, it doesn't work out that way. My part-time overnight gig is working for Amazon. I work in a delivery center. So, I'm scanning boxes, I'm stacking boxes, I'm packing bags, unloading pallets. That's what I'm doing. But I'm doing that because it helps to pay the bills to where I can afford to go fish on those 2 to 3 days that I allot myself during the week. Okay, white whale. I see that. How do you like the franchise life, man? I did that. I did that with Complete Nutrition. And for me, retail's a whole nother beast. I did not like it. Didn't like it one bit. I love the managerial side of things. I love, helping people out. But when it comes to the finances and the taxes and the business owning that way, I hate it. I don't know the first thing about it. And I've messed up more times than not. Like I said, this business is failing. It is what it is. Not the first time I failed. It won't be the last, but I'm just going to continue to do what I can do to provide for my family and do what I can. Let's see. Thanks, Kansas Angler. I appreciate that, man. I'm always going to be real. Always going to be honest with you guys. Stoney's back. Good to have you back, man. I think making the channel yours and not theirs will cause to build a community of like-minded people. That's a fact. That is a fact, and there's a lot of haters out there, and people are going to, like I said, they're going to fall off. Like I said, when I didn't do a gear breakdown video the next week after somebody asked me to, they fell off. They stopped watching the channel. Sorry about you, but I'm making these videos for me. Now, I'm going to do a gear breakdown video. I'm going to do a kayak video. I'm going to do all these things, but I knew back when they were asking me to do that, that's what I want to do during the wintertime, so I can still have some content to upload, because winter is here. I went out this morning because it is Wednesday, and I went to a very pressured lake. I thought about taking the easy way out and going to a pond where I know I could probably catch some fish, but I want to challenge myself, and got my dick kicked in the dirt, and I did not catch a thing. I couldn't buy a bite. So, Six Pack, what's up, dude? Love the videos, man. Keep it up. Make sure y'all. Thank you, babe boy. I appreciate that, man. Take care of yourself. Oakie's in the house. What's up, buddy? Oh, I get what you're saying, Big John. Trapping videos all winter. That's awesome. Bass whooping. I do all my editing on my phone. I spent a whole paycheck on a GoPro last year. Lost my job, so it's been extremely tough to find work and keep my channel going. It's a grind. It is a grind. It's absolutely a grind. And that's the thing. Like, some people think that you have to have, and Oki wanted me to kind of touch on this. Some people think that you have to have, the best computer. And let me preface this by saying I was guilty of this. Like I said, when I spent 2 years on YouTube researching every single thing that I could for video editing and for photography, I spent so much money on high-end camera, high-end computer, make sure it had the right graphics card, processor, and all that to handle all this stuff. You can do it all. You can do it all on your phone. 100%. You can do it all on your phone. You can shoot the video on your phone. You don't need a GoPro. You don't need any of that stuff. Does it help? Absolutely. But you don't have to have the best stuff to do these things. Plenty of free editing software. I mean, iMovie on your phone, on your iPhone. There's, I mean, on Samsung, there's like movie editor on there. You can do all that stuff from your phone. Thank you, Oki. I appreciate that, man. Let me catch up here. Calvin, I can only fish one day of the week. Wednesdays are when the kids are in school. It's hard, man, but family comes first. That's a fact, brother. That is a fact. So I remember when daylight savings happened, Wednesday mornings were, my days to go. And then all of a sudden, actually it was before daylight savings, Wednesday mornings, the sun wouldn't come up here in Oklahoma till about 9 o'clock. And I had to open the store at 10 o'clock. So, I mean, my Wednesday mornings were cut down, but always make time for your family comes first. But like I said, if you set those boundaries and you set those things from the very beginning, saying, I'm going to fish these days, it will be much better for you in the future. I'm reading White Will's comment right there. Good, man. That's awesome. I like to hear that. That's a good franchise right there. All right, Big John. Thomas, you nail on the head right there, brother. We all dream to make it big. Worst case scenarios, you would end up videotaping your life, memories, camaraderie. That's a fact, man. And I wish I had done this. I wish I had started this a long time ago. I wish that I would have recorded everything back when we had camcorders, and videotaping. Like, I mean, I remember the cassette tapes or the videotapes of morning Christmases. Like, I wish that I had done a lot more recording when my older kids were younger. I wish I had uploaded a lot of stuff and saved a lot of stuff so I'd have a lot of memories to go back on, but that's the beauty of this YouTube thing. I mean, you can put anything on there. You can make your channel what you want it to be. You can share whatever you want to with the world. What are your thoughts around fishing video? Around a fishing video where you get skunked? You put those out there, consider them a trash recording day. You know what, Kansas? When I started up, there was no way that I was going to upload any kind of skunk video. No way whatsoever. And now I don't care. Like I said, I mean, I went out Saturday. Me and Oki went out Saturday, and we went out on the kayaks, went to another really tough lake, and got absolutely destroyed. And I've got that footage on memory cards on both my GoPros, and I am going to put that up because I need to sit there and really go through the footage and figure out how to tell the story. I think that's the biggest thing is when you go out and you're recording, whether you get skunked or not, you need to be telling your story. You need to talk yourself through, what's going on that day, what you did. Even if it's a 5-minute video of you not catching a thing, one upload is better than none. You know what, White Whale? If it's fulfilling to you, that's all that matters, man. That is all that matters. Bass whipping. I filmed, edited, and uploaded from my phone for my first whole year on YouTube. Nice, dude. KineMaster is a decent editing software or app on the phone. Upload from the iPad. See? Where there's a will, there is a way. See you later, Big John. Impatient people. That's a fact, Calvin. What's up, Sawgrass? How can you be? Listen, dude. Said Sawgrass and didn't even realize who I was talking to for a second. I'm gonna get down there next year. I'm coming down there and we're gonna get on some. We're gonna catch some real fish. Get me a new PB. I'm still shooting for that new PB this year. I am not giving up. Fat bass you caught. Huh. I'm getting text messages while we're talking right now. Oh, PB bass as of right now is 5'4". 5 pounds, 4 ounces. That is the whale video. That is the phrase that has gotten a lot bigger than I ever thought it could. That was the one where I literally said, it's a whale. White whale. What made you want to start a YouTube fishing channel? Dude, Kansas, you gotta remind me to come back to this GoPro talk, man, because I keep getting caught up. So fishing has always been a passion of mine. I mean, I would say I learned from my dad, but when my dad and I went fishing, it was night crawlers on a hook with a bobber catching bluegill. That's what it was. And then I taught myself, cat fishing. And I tried to bass fish growing up. Me and a buddy of mine, we still kind of reminisce about it. And I really didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I was throwing spinner baits and crankbaits, and that was it. And had no idea. But back when I got into photography and into videography, I was watching Casey Neistat like religiously because I loved his style of vlogging. And I was like, I want to do that. But the thing with vlogging is it is extremely tough to do that and tell a story when you don't really have much of a story to tell, So I've always wanted to get onto YouTube and creating content is one of my therapies. Whether it be, PTSD related or whatever from whatever. But creating content is just a therapy of mine. It's a passion of mine. So I love doing that. And I love fishing. And when I picked it back up this year, I said this was the year I was going to. It had been 10 plus years since I'd fished. And I picked it up and I was like, you know what? I got a GoPro. I'm going to start recording this. And I went out and started recording it. And I was like, I was talking to John Oakey, and I was like, I think I'm going to start up a YouTube channel. I'm going to put all my fishing stuff on there. And it was weird. Like when I first started, I didn't want to put my chesty on. I was hiding my GoPro. I was talking to myself like this. I was so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. And now you'll see me out there, big camera, chesty on, second GoPro, whatever it may be. I don't care because I love telling my stories. I love going out fishing. I love creating content. So it was just combining those two passions of fishing and creating content. That's what made me want to start my YouTube channel. Of course, it was watching all the other guys that were doing YouTube and fishing that, just kind of fueled the fire. But I guess that's kind of what made me want to start at White Whale. Okay. First off, Kansas Angler. So I commented on there and I saw, and I don't know if it's because I'm a Best Buy Elite member. It's because I've spent so much money at Best Buy over the years that I'm an Elite member. But I do know the Hero 8 is $349 on Black Friday. I know they've got the bundle as well. The reason I'm telling you that I would not go with the Osmo Action, I watched enough reviews on it that some people were saying that, even though you can record for an hour on here and each clip, they will divide it into a file of 8 minutes and 51 seconds, and that's it. And then it'll just carry on to the next one and the next one and the next one. So on the Osmo Action, I did hear people talking about how the audio would cut and have a 2-second delay to your next clip. So that was one reason why I didn't go with it, because I was thinking about going with it too. The other thing is, and allow me to camera nerd out on you here, GoPro has been doing the action camera since it started. GoPro is the standard I mean, they were the first ones to do it. DJI, they do drones, and they do drones better than anybody else. Anybody else. And I've seen enough comparisons between the two, the low light, the audio. I mean, the front screen on the Osmo Action is nice, but really, when you're talking about a wide angle camera, you can hold this in front of you and be right here in frame. Let's just turn this on really quick. You can hold this in front of you and be in frame and not have to worry about anything. I mean, it's right there. You don't need to see yourself. That's why I didn't go with that. I went with the Hero 8 because I'm a tech geek and I like new and I want to test it out. And I'm actually going to do a video on setting up the settings on the Hero 8 and on the Hero 7. But the reason I was saying to go with the 7 is because the 7, Thomas is out. Sorry, man. The 7 is the same price as the Osmo Action, and the 7 has a much wider ecosystem. I mean, literally every GoPro accessory out right now works with the 7. You have a lot more accessibility with the 7 over the 8 even, and definitely over the Osmo Action. Okay, let's see here. Down the Wichita Mountains area. Right on. Let's see. I have not fished for salmon ever. And that is that's on my bucket list for sure. Any tips on how to grow your channel? I've put a ton of work into my channel, but after about a year and a half, I'm at 250 subs, which is great. What can I do to grow more? Oh, man, this is a question I get asked a lot, Bass Whoopin'. How to grow your YouTube channel. If you want to go about it the way a lot of people do, clickbait, thumbnails, which I don't do. I'm going to stay true to me. I don't want to, mislead anybody with, a title or anything like that. Peter McKinnon, one of the guys that, I really studied a lot when it came to the film editing, he talks about how on his videos, he'll go and make his video, and then he'll spend an extra 2 days trying to figure out the thumbnail, because the thumbnail is one of the first thing. I mean, that's the first thing everyone sees. Now, if we're talking about on your phone, when you go on to YouTube on your phone, so right here, you're going to have that, and then the first thing that pops up, you have it right there, and then it's going to start the video up. So you need to have something that is going to grab someone's attention. If they're scrolling through their feed, they see the thumbnail, and the first thing that pops up and shows right there, you got to have something that's going to grab people's attention. So that's one thing that I changed up is now, I mean, you guys have seen kind of the evolution of my channel. In the first 2-3 seconds, I'm going to have something that's going to try and grab people's attention and say, don't go anywhere, hang on, film a good intro, have a quality intro, have something in there that's going to grab people's attention. Hashtags are big, not in just the description, but when you upload the video, you got to have a hashtag in there and try and reach as wide of an audience as possible. Another thing is that one thing I've noticed is even though I won't upload for, 3 to 4 days, a lot of the time your video will cycle back through YouTube and people are going to see that. So you got to have some kind of content that is going to grab people's attention. That's going to make them want to gravitate towards you. Engagement as well. You guys know, like, I reply to every single one of you, and I've said that from the jump, and I'm always going to do that to the best of my ability. I'm going to reply to every single person and engage with every single person. That's my only tips, man. I don't know. I don't have a secret. I don't have anything like that. It's just going out and being real, being you, aging. you got to think about like the kind of videos that you like to watch. Like review videos are huge. That's one thing I told Oki. Like review videos are huge. One of his most viewed videos is reviewing his crossbow, which he no longer has. Now he's got a Hoyt bow, and I'm pumped for him to do that review video because that's going to be good. But, go out, buy a lucky tackle box, buy a mystery tackle box, buy a bait box monthly, something like that. Open it up, give people your real raw impressions of what you're doing. When I canceled mystery tackle box for Monster Bass, this was back before Monster Bass actually picked me up. It was probably about a week later they reached out to me and asked me to come and be part of the team. But that was my real raw impressions of, why. And I said in my video, this could blackball me, later down the road for, saying I'm not going with mystery tackle box, but I'm always going to be real and be me on my channel. So that's my tips to you, dude. No problem, Kansas Angler. Let's try and catch up here. Not about that clickbait. Nope. What's up, Snagline? Interaction is the best way to grow a channel. Upstate. Sean coming in with the facts. What's up, Fish again? Oh, max record time on the 7 per battery. I get about an hour. Shooting at 2.7K, I get about an hour, maybe about 50 minutes. Some people, the battery banks are they're iffy on the battery banks. You got to have the right kind of output. You may have a 10,000 milliamp battery, and these are like 2,200 milliamp batteries, but a 10,000 milliamp battery that's only putting out 2.5 volts is not going to give continuous power while recording. So you want to have a battery bank that's like 5,000 or 5 volts output, I think will give you continuous power on a battery. But you get about 1 hour's worth. And I was doing the battery bank. Me and Oki were both doing battery banks. And since then, we've switched to just extra batteries. You can get, I actually got them down in the description. I think the Me Boat battery, you can get like 3 of them for the Hero 7 for $20-$25, something like that. And that's an extra 3 hours of battery right there. Buoy 10 up on the Columbia. Dude, definitely will. Definitely will. Be real, be you, things will happen. Yep, that's a fact. No problem, Basswood. I'm happy to help you out, man. That's how Sean found me. LTB. Yep. Big John's back. Yep, that's a fact, man. Now, here's my thing with the looping, and this is why I don't loop. The loop feature, what it is, like you start recording, you stop recording. You can be recording for 30, 45 minutes, and then when you hit the end record button, it like keeps just the last 5 minutes. The only reason I don't do that is because I talk so much during my videos that if I talk, 15 minutes before I'm catching a fish or anything like that, then I'm going to lose that commentary. I'm going to lose my thought process. I'm going to lose anything like that. So I want to record everything when I'm out there fishing, and I want to record it all. So when I do talk, I have something to go back to and try. I mean, it takes a lot more time of editing, no doubt, to like skip through and try and find where you're talking, what you're talking about. But I do think that gives you a little more content to your video. Now, a lot of us want to see nothing but fish caught. A lot of people don't want to hear people talking. But, I mean, for me, that's just what I like to do for my channel. That's why I don't loop. I'm actually seeing a video right now. It says 24 frames per second versus 60 frames per second. That's a good, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about frames per second and why I shoot and what I shoot. So when I'm on my chest or, my secondary camera, I'm usually shooting at 60 frames a second. And the reason for that is if I'm going to slow anything down, if I put it at 50%, that 60 frames a second is going to go to 120 frames a second. So I can slow it down so I get a lot more image, and it's a lot more smooth that way. Whereas I think it was Bass or Kicking Their Bass. Some of his slow motion, like I think he's filming at 24 or 30 frames a second. So when you see that water splash, it just looks weird. It's not fluid. It looks kind of like, I don't know, the frame rate just doesn't match up with, the slow motion. So that's why I like to record in 60. On the vlog style though, I like 24 frame. 24 frame gives a little more natural motion blur that you're seeing right here. It's a little more real to the eye. So little things that just make your video quality just a little bit better that can make your videos stand out to other people. What's up, 706? You're the real reason I tried Monster Bass. Dude, that's a fact, man. I mean, I really am, I appreciate that. I am sincere about it, and I get questions about it a lot. I have guys asking me, like I had a question today, how do you get recognized by Monster Bass? And I'm not anyone special to them. I've been doing, I did the reviews, some of the very first videos that I did, talking about Mystery Tackle Box, talking about Lucky Tackle Box, talking about Monster Bass. I just felt Monster Bass was the better quality box. That's why I chose to go with them. They reached out to me. They just like some of the content that I put out, but I'm not anybody special. I'm not by any means. I've told them, I said, if there's a bait in here that I don't agree with, I'm going to tell you straight up that I'm not happy with it, but I'm always going to try and find a positive on it, because I don't want to be that guy on YouTube bagging on a lure, bagging on a bait box, anything like that, saying this box sucks because of this one lure. Let's talk about the Lunker Hunt. This one right here. Now, Lunker Hunt, I am not a fan of Lunker Hunt at all. And I told them, I said, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it whatsoever, but I am going to find a use for it, because the use that I'm going to find for this is going to be in the ponds. It's going to be in the lakes. It is a very slow riser, and I'm going to save this one for wintertime. But you won't find me hyping up anybody. That's why I don't do, I don't shout them out in every video, even though, I am field staff member, pro staff member, anything like that. I don't go out of my way to shout somebody out, because my channel is me. And my channel is not sponsored by Monster Bass. My channel is not sponsored by Cast King, 13 Fishing, Favorite Rods, anything like that. It's what I choose to use, and it's what I believe in. And I'm going to stick with that. I don't have 9-inch plus. Okay, fisherman. Yeah, you don't care for Lunker Hunt either. I know, dude. Definitely not. Definitely not a fan of them. Hell, I'm not a fan of the River to Sea lipless that came in the box, but that's because I'm not comfortable with it. It doesn't mean it's a bad box. It just means it's a lure that I'm not comfortable with, that I need to be more comfortable with, that I need to learn to use. Dun, dun, dun. Someone give me something. Talk to me here. I'm dying. Oh, baits or techniques you hope to build on this next season? Sean, you're just always coming in clutch, dude. Always coming in clutch. I think this next season, what I want to do, especially, wintertime coming up, I got to slow it back down. I used to throw nothing but jigs, and now I need to get back to throwing jigs. I need to slow it down. I think that my big thing for this winter is going to be learning more lakes, because I do find myself going to lakes a lot more than ponds now. I like the challenge of it. I'd say the technique that I want to do better at, I want to do better at drop shots. I need to get back to more finesse style fishing. I've got a lot of people commenting on that. saying I don't finesse fish enough or I need to slow back down. Whatever. I'm gonna fish for me. Um, but I do need to get better at drop shotting. I know Carolina rig's a big one. People talk about A rigs. I don't want to, especially like Carolina rig. There's a lot of tying involved, and I'm kind of lazy like that. Um, what else do I need to learn? Punching, punching, punching and flipping. Like especially around, yeah. Like I'm not comfortable with that. Um, Punching especially. I tried to do a little bit of that this year, and obviously from the bank you can't really do it. From a kayak, it's tough as well. But that is something that I definitely want to get better about because I do have aspirations for next year to have at least a John boat, something where we can get two people on a boat working together. Let's see here. Oh, opinions on the 6 Sense baits. Like they're hard baits or they're plastics. I haven't tried any of their hard baits yet. Or their plastics. Hard baits, I like them. I mean, that's all I've been. That's really all I have for hard baits right now. I mean, I've got some of the Guggen stuff too. But 6 Sense has definitely been the most durable. I broke the bill on that 6 Sense massacre when me and Steve, the OK Fisherman, we went out. But that bill broke after I'd smacked it against his boat probably about 5 or 6 times that day. So, and the bill didn't even, I mean, it cracked kind of in half in like a half moon shape. So 6 Sense, I'm a big fan of their stuff. Especially when I saw his KVD crank snap like on the first cast. I was pretty disappointed with that because I do consider myself a Strike King fan for sure. Hey, Carson. How you doing, man? Let's see. I'm going to get to that. Hang on here. Exactly. Kansas angler right there. I haven't got anything with the lipless yet either. Keeps me stretching outside of my comfort zone, though. That's what the boxes are for, guys. If you ask me, that's what they're for. You're going to get something in there that you like. You're probably going to get a lot of stuff that you like, but there's going to be something in there that you don't like or you're not comfortable with that you got to go out there and learn on. That's, again, me, with the crankbaits that are in there and the lipless crankbait that's in there. Let's see here. Carson, no problem, man. No problem at all. I appreciate you jumping in here. I need to text you. I'm sorry that I have not texted you. My wife is texting me too. Let's see here. Finesse fishing or big swim bait is possibly no. Oh, finesse fish a big swim bait. You talking like a Huddleston, like creeping it along? Because that's my plan. The big swim baits, I got a mag slow that I'm definitely going to be throwing. I threw the mag draft on Saturday, and with the colder water, I could tell a difference in the action on it. It just was not swimming quite the same. It was a little more rigid. That's going to be one thing that I'm going to have to learn is colder water and what plastics are going to have better action in that colder water. Yeah. That Ned rig, I actually, on my last video that I put out on Monday, I did go to that boat ramp again, but the wind was ripping. I mean, it was at least 15, 17 mile an hour. And I tried to finesse fish on that, but I could not feel a thing. My braid was just bowed up in the wind, and I couldn't feel anything. So the finesse fishing is going to be tough. I'm going to have to be very picky about the banks that I choose when I am bank fishing for the finesse stuff so I can still feel everything. Terminal tackle, White Whale, talking about that. I do like that, man. I want to check their stuff out too. Let's see here. Mimic dying bait fish, finessing swim baits. Yep. Oh, I know the lake we can punch, bub. Don't I know that? Bass whooping, I'll see you later, man. What am I getting myself for Black Friday? Nothing. Nothing at all. I'm already strapped for cash, you know. What I am going to do though is I am going to go back because this went up on sale 2 days after I bought it. So I'm going back to Best Buy and I'm going to say, "Hey, give me that $50 back." And I'm probably just going to put it towards something else for this, a couple extra batteries. That I am going to do. You know, white whale, my buddy John Goodwin, he talked about that. Like he loves going into deeper water with a lipless crankbait and fishing it like a jig, kind of yo-yoing it. That is something that I definitely want to do. Got some lakes around here. I mean, a lot of the time we're fishing blind. We don't have electronics most of the time. So we're fishing blind. So a lot of the time when I'm going out and going fishing, I will throw that Texas rig for 2 reasons. First reason is to try and get a bite. Second reason is I'm trying to figure out the structure on the bottom of the lake and figure out what I'm dealing with. That's why I throw that Texas rig so much, besides the fact that it gets me bites. What am I dipping? Grizzly long cut wintergreen. The OK Fisherman, in case you guys don't know, this guy is a swim bait fishing maniac. California boy, moved to the heart of America because he wanted to be in America. And that guy turned me on to the big swim baits. That is why I've done that. So Big John Stokers is better. I like my Stokers too, man. Do a super chat. What? What are you talking about, super chat? I can't do super chat yet. Thank you very much. I will definitely do that, Carson. Yeah, I will definitely do that because I mean I got a lot of stuff to. Carson and Carter, they're going to help me get set up with the VA. I mean, since I've been out of the Army, I got out in 2013. I have not been to the VA since I've been out yet. So I got to get that taken care of and get that going. Did you guys know I was in the Army? Anybody know that? I was in the Army. I did a deployment to Afghanistan. And it's a really small world. The military really is a small world because I was stationed in Alaska, Fort Richardson, the airborne unit up there, 3rd of the 509th. And when I moved to Oklahoma, I actually found out that my unit ripped out the guard unit from Oklahoma. So I've ran into guys that were on the same COPS, which is Combat Outpost, and the same bases that I was on. They were in the same region. When we were coming in, they were going out. So I've met some of the same people in the same area, and unfortunately, the guard unit from here, I mean, they just got messed up. They took a lot more than they should have. I've talked with a lot of the guys, and it wasn't really so much them. You ask my humble opinion, there was no reason for a guard unit to be in that AO, in that area of operations in Afghanistan. It was just entirely too hot for a guard unit. We came in the wintertime, and during the winter, they don't like to fight because it's cold, especially where we were. We were up in the mountains, kind of borderline Pakistan. So between 6,000, 10,000 feet elevation, talking like negative 14 without the wind chill. So they don't like to get out. They don't like to fight. So when we came in wintertime, we had made our presence felt. And then when springtime kicked off, fighting season, we had a pretty good time. I'll leave it at that. Absolutely, Kansas and Big John. Yep. White Will. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The Huddlestons with that vortex shape. Yep. Also, the Mag Slow from Mag Draft. That one in particular, it's a lot thinner, about halfway back. I don't have it here with me, but it's a lot thinner, a lot more fine of a plastic. So it's definitely More pliable, I guess you could say, and that's why it's called a mag slow because it's meant to be crept really slow and get that good tail thump going along there. Which me and Steve we tried to fish that, and on the boat it was a little too difficult. We were moving a little too fast for that. Sean, you're right. I mean, everyone says that about square bills, and that day it was just they were just turned on to the square bill, and they were turned on to that. The when last Wednesday when I went out and I caught two in that really pressured lake, they were on it then too. Um, but yeah, every water is different. Every body of water has a different temperament of fish. The weather controls a lot of that. The water controls a lot of that. The forage controls a lot of that. There's so much that goes into fishing. You can read all the textbooks, you can watch all the videos, but nothing teaches you better than getting out there and experimenting and trying to figure out for yourself. Carson, what I enjoy the most about military lifestyle. Do I keep up with my brothers in arms? I do keep up with quite a few of them. Um, I will say when you get out, you definitely lose touch with a lot of them if you're not proactive. What I love the most about it, though, and this is just because I found out that I'm a serious adrenaline junkie. Um, I love jumping out of airplanes. I absolutely loved that, but nothing topped a firefight for me. And that's not me trying to be, a hard ass or anything like that, but the first firefight that I got into, I was hooked. And that's what I loved. But the camaraderie that you have with those guys next to you, nothing beats that. I mean, very few things beat that. It's a different kind of lifestyle, man. You know, very different kind of lifestyle. Big John, I think that you've got the right time of the year for the swim bait for sure. Absolutely, why will. No, when I was in Alaska, I did not fish at all. I did not hunt at all. I mean, I had the opportunities while I was up there, but I never jumped on them. There was a lot of stuff that entailed, the licensing. Not only that, but like having a weapon and having to keep it off post or not like, because I lived in the barracks. I didn't live, on house post or on post housing. I didn't live in any of that. So I didn't do much of that. I wish I had. I did more snowboarding than anything, and drinking. I drank a lot. I was a bona fide alcoholic, and honestly, for all you guys that are still watching, fishing kept me from falling back into alcoholism, which is a story that I want to tell in a different video. But fishing definitely saved me from that. But all the fishing and the hunting up there, I wish I had. I still got a lot of buddies that are up there. A lot of the guys that serve in Alaska, they end up getting out and they'll move to Alaska or they'll just stay in Alaska because it is so beautiful up there, especially in the Anchorage area. I got a guy that I serve with, a buddy of mine, that he actually flies planes there now. He just got his bush plane license. I think it's a license, but he got his own bush plane. So he's doing that. Another guy that I serve with, this guy was, I mean, he stacked bodies. Crazy, crazy dude. And now he's living in Nevada and he does mountain rescue. That guy is crazy. I love that guy. I mean, I was right up there with him in craziness level. Another one of my buddies, another crazy dude. When I got to a different platoon, I think it was like the first week, he took me out and taught me how to cook a grenade. And I've never been more scared in my life. Cooking a grenade is something completely different. Big John, you're not taking the kayak out for that swim bait? Oh, crappie fishing from the bank. You know what I do know, from what I've heard, at least. I wouldn't say I know, but Gibson, Eufaula, Grand, I mean, they'll be stacked up around the docks if you're looking for crappie, not from a boat. They'll be stacked up around the docks. A lot of those marina areas, you can usually stack them up there too. Dude, I would love to do that. I'm actually, I'm talking to white whale. I'm actually part of the Sheepdog Fishing Network, and Travis James, he's talking about like setting up meet and greets, or not so much meet and greets, but like tournaments and stuff like that to fish with vets. I know there's a lot of stuff here as far as like me organizing anything like that. I'm so scatterbrained. Thinking about that almost gives me anxiety because when it comes to putting something together like that, I can't. I don't think I can do it. I really don't think I can do it. I'm sure I could, but there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into that. What's nice is I have been able to connect to a couple other veterans that are here in Oklahoma that were with the guard unit that my unit ripped out that I was talking about, that are into fishing. So I know there's more stuff like that. And I know there's going to be more stuff coming this next year. There's a Freedom Ops, I think is what they're called, an organization here that they get people out on the water together to go fishing. Want to do some kayak tournaments next year. I got a lot of stuff that I want to do next year. Let's see here. What's up, Frank? Good to have you here. Wedgetail, Matt Lures. Okay, Fisherman. He's just got all the knowledge on the swim baits. There you go, Carson. Kansas angler just right there. Hitting under bridges in Kansas, and from the bank you can pull out tons of crappie. What's up, Kyle? Kansas, dude, I definitely will, man. Frank's off tomorrow, then 12-hour shift Friday. Man, I'm with you on that. I'll be working on Friday too. I'm actually working tomorrow morning. I go in tomorrow 1:45, 5:45 a.m. So shoveling snow. Ooh, no thanks. I did enough of that in Alaska. That was part of my extra duty. I got in trouble, which is one reason why I got out of the Army. I got into a little bit of trouble. And extra duty was chipping ice and shoveling snow. So I've had my fill of shoveling snow and chipping ice. I'm not a big fan of the cold. I've got cold weather injuries. That's one thing that's tough about fishing in the wintertime, or even just this cold weather. It takes about 5 minutes before I lose all feeling in this hand here. That's one reason why this hand is so messed up. Something I picked up over there that's followed me over, but this hand will, like, my skin dries out extremely quick. My fingertips will crack open. Bunch of gross stuff. It's no fun. Cold weather is no fun at all. You lived on Kodiak Island? Dude, I was stationed in Anchorage. And I don't think I went much further than that. I was saying earlier I drank a lot and I snowboarded a lot. I did not get out and explore the great outdoors like I should have, mainly because, I mean, we're training most of the time. And then on the downtimes, like I said, instead of going out and exploring the outdoors, instead of trying to hunt or trying to fish, I consume my time with alcohol and partying, which I'm glad I'm very far past all that stuff. Oh, advice on bait for that kind of crappie fishing. Dude, somebody answer Carson for me. I am not very good with crappie fishing. The crappie fishing that I have done was with my father-in-law. He's got a $50,000 Ranger boat, and he prefers to crappie fish out of it. He loves crappie fishing. So, I mean, the style of crappie fishing that we did, it was literally, we just had the, they weren't even the feathered crappie jigs. I think it was just grub tails as all we used. And we locked off about 8 foot of line and just jigged it around any kind of brush. That's what we did. Later, Steve. Big John says minnows. Frank, the question was, what is your advice on bait for crappie fishing from the bank? From the bank or docks? What is the best kind of bait? Minnows, definitely. I don't do much live bait fishing. I do more artificial. See you later, White Whale. I appreciate you, man. Presentation is key. Minnows or jigs on bobbers. I know, I don't know if you guys follow Thai Pig Patrol, but that dude fishes for anything and everything. And he's got some ultralight tackle setups. Like today I watched him fish with a Mr. Twister craw and a 1/50th ounce jig head on 4-pound line. The big thing with crappie fishing that I do know is going to be the finesse style. They don't call them paper lips for nothing. I mean, you can rip that lip super easy. That was one thing that I had to learn the hard way when I was fishing with my father-in-law is, I was thinking I was setting the hook on a bass, and I was just ripping that hook right out of their mouth every time. It just takes just a little bit of pressure to hook them up. Berkeley minnows are solid. Check out Crappie Magnet as well. Crappie jig, yeah, I said that. Around here, Berkeley minnows work great on a jig head or under a bobber. Yeah, Big John Ty is a monster. Crappie will be suspended right against cover. So, Frank, he's going to be fishing from the bank. So that's why I was saying, like, if he heads out to any of the boat docks or anything like that, probably has some pretty good luck there. Oh, man. About time for me to get out of there. Hit the pillars. Carson, I hope they answer your question for you. Guys, I got to get out of here. Like I said, I'll be waking up at 1:45 in the morning, work until 5:45. Then I'm probably going to go home, sleep for a couple hours, then get on the road and head to Wichita for Thanksgiving. So, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I mean that 100%. Bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hopping on here. Hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Eat up. Don't worry about, going outside your diet. I don't know if anybody here cares about that or not, but eat and enjoy life. Yeah, dude, I'm from Wichita. Born and raised in Wichita. I moved to Oklahoma almost 7 years ago. But yeah, born and raised in Wichita. Enjoy that thunder chicken. Oh, I'm going to. All right. I will see you guys. Kansas, if you got Instagram, hit me up on Instagram. It's Oklahoma's Worst Angler. So I'll see you guys. I'm done. This is really it. I really am out of here. My sister lived in Newton for a little while. Nice. All right. See you guys later.